Imagine rolling up to a quiet American main street in 1969, and the low, commanding profile of a Dodge Charger RT slides into view, its hidden headlights glinting like a predator's eyes. This is the car that fused Detroit's horsepower arms race with a new sense of cinematic cool, a machine that felt both outlaw and aspirational at the same time. Because the 1969 Dodge Charger RT wasn't just another big block muscle car. It was the moment when raw engineering, bold styling, and a restless youth culture collided. On paper, it offered a 440 Magnum or the legendary 426 HEMI, but on the street and on screen, it became shorthand for unapologetic American performance. People who saw it remembered the way it looked even more than the numbers. And that tension between appearance and substance still drives collectors and enthusiasts today. What makes this car more than a relic is how it became a rolling emblem of the late 60s, capturing the optimism, defiance, and swagger of the era, then echoing across decades of film, television, and modern redesigns. This story takes us inside that convergence of design choices, mechanical prowess, marketing gambles, and cultural shifts to uncover why this single model year still resonates so powerfully. If that sounds like a journey worth taking, tap like and subscribe and drop in the comments which classic machine you'd love to see explored next. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT opens a chapter in American automotive history that feels almost mythic, yet it's grounded in real choices made by engineers, stylists, and executives who wanted to win both on the street and in the showroom. This car arrives as Detroit's horsepower wars hit their peak, with rival manufacturers unleashing ever bigger engines and louder marketing campaigns. But the Charger RT distinguishes itself through a combination of sculpted fastback bodywork, recessed grille with hidden headlights, and a muscular stance that manages to look both futuristic and menacing. Its long hood and short deck proportions nod to performance heritage, while its interior hints at luxury, positioning it not as a stripped-down drag car, but as a performance flagship that could still ferry a family. Under the skin, a standard 440 Magnum V8 offered abundant torque, while the optional 426 HEMI transformed it into a legend whispered about at stoplights, and heavy-duty suspension parts ensured that this wasn't merely a styling exercise, but a legitimate driver's car ready to handle the demands of real-world use. Micro-story. In early development, Dodge's designers faced pressure to differentiate the Charger RT from other muscle offerings. They responded by creating a flying buttress roofline and tunneled rear window that gave the car an instantly recognizable silhouette and improved aerodynamics at high speeds. A feature that became iconic even as some critics questioned rear visibility. This design risk paid off when buyers flocked to showrooms drawn by its aggressive yet elegant shape. Micro-story. The marketing push behind the 1969 Dodge Charger RT also helped cement its status. Dodge positioned it as a performance statement for people who didn't want to blend in, using photography that emphasized speed, shadows, and a hint of danger. While dealer promotions highlighted both the brute force of its engines and the surprising comfort of its cabin, this duality allowed the Charger RT to appeal to a broader audience than many muscle cars of its day. Micro-story. On the street, stories spread of the 426 HEMI Charger RT embarrassing larger, more expensive rivals at impromptu red-light duels and dominating sanctioned drag events. Whether or not all those tales were true, they fed a mystique that drew enthusiasts who craved not just speed but an aura of invincibility. This legend building created an emotional bond between owners and the car that still influences the collector market. Context digest. In the broader late 1960s market, American drivers were increasingly looking for personal expression in their cars. The Charger RT's combination of flamboyant design and authentic performance made it a totem of individuality at a time of social change, which gave it cultural traction beyond horsepower numbers alone. Context digest. Insurance companies and regulators were beginning to clamp down on ultra-high-performance models even as they rose in popularity. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT thus stands at a pivot point, embodying the last full measure of unrestrained muscle before new rules reshaped the market. Context digest. Dodge also leveraged motorsport credibility to boost the RT's appeal, developing special aerodynamic variants like the Charger Daytona for NASCAR, which in turn heightened the showroom desirability of the regular RT models by association. This symbiosis of race and road blurred the line between weekend warrior and daily driver. Reflection bridge. Seen through today's lens, the 1969 Dodge Charger RT was not merely a car, but a rolling statement of ambition by its maker and a mirror for the restless energy of its buyers. Reflection bridge. It's this convergence of design audacity, engineering muscle, and social context that makes the RT more than a nostalgic artifact. All of these forces set the stage for an even deeper look at how the Charger RT's engineering and myth-making combined to elevate it from successful model to enduring cultural symbol, which is where our journey continues next. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT stands at the intersection of engineering discipline and cultural spectacle. And to understand why it became such an enduring benchmark, we have to go deeper into how those worlds overlapped. This car did not simply happen. It was the product of deliberate choices about engines, suspension geometry, aerodynamics, and marketing that together produced a uniquely potent symbol of American performance. Under its sculpted skin lay a chassis built to handle the torque of the 440 Magnum and the ferocity of the optional 426 HEMI, with heavy-duty torsion bars up front, leaf springs in the rear, and stout driveline components to survive both boulevard cruising and weekend drag racing. Yet Dodge was careful to retain a measure of civility inside the cabin, with high-back bucket seats, optional console, and an instrument panel that felt more aircraft than economy car. This blend of brutal power and unexpected refinement invited a new kind of buyer who wanted a muscle car that could also serve as a daily driver, which broadened the RT's market footprint well beyond the stereotypical hot rod crowd. Micro story. When engineers tested pre-production HEMI Chargers at Chrysler's proving grounds, they discovered that the car's nose lifted at high speeds, compromising stability. Instead of dialing back performance, they partnered with aerodynamicists to create wind-cheating add-ons, and later the radical Charger Daytona for NASCAR. A move that not only solved the stability problem, but generated enormous buzz that spilled back into showrooms. This moment showed how engineering challenges could become marketing gold. Micro story. Dealers across the US reported that customers were as intrigued by the Charger RT's hidden headlights and recessed grille as by its horsepower ratings. And some even ordered cars with flashy paint and vinyl tops simply to stand out. The RT thus became a rolling canvas for self-expression at a time when personal style was as important as straight-line speed. Micro story. Inside Dodge's advertising war room, strategists debated whether to emphasize raw performance or the complete package of style and comfort. Ultimately, they chose a hybrid message that cast the Charger RT as both predator and gentleman, which helped it outsell more narrowly focused rivals and set a template for performance marketing in the years ahead. Context digest. NASCAR wins and records by aerodynamic Charger variants legitimized the street-going RT, proving that the basic platform was capable of championship-level performance. This halo effect allowed Dodge to claim not just bragging rights, but a place in racing history that buyers could literally drive off the lot. Context digest. Federal safety and emissions standards were tightening, meaning the 1969 Charger RT represented one of the last times an automaker could offer such a high-compression, big displacement engine without major compromises. This reality gives the car an added layer of nostalgia because it captures the final unfiltered expression of Detroit muscle. Context digest. Insurance surcharges on high-performance cars were rising, yet Dodge managed to keep the RT's value proposition attractive by offering potent performance in a relatively upscale package, which helped it stay within reach of enthusiasts who might otherwise have been priced out of the market. Reflection bridge. Seen against this backdrop, the 1969 Dodge Charger RT becomes a case study in how a manufacturer can turn constraints into legend. Reflection bridge. It also shows how a single model year can crystallize an entire era's aspirations and anxieties. All of these threads, engineering innovation, marketing bravado, and cultural adoption, set the stage for understanding the long tail of the Charger RT's influence, which carries us into its legacy and ongoing impact today. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT carries a legacy that stretches far beyond its single model year, and understanding that legacy brings our story full circle. This car did more than define what a muscle car could be in its own time. It created a blueprint for how American performance vehicles would be remembered, revived, and reinterpreted for decades to come. Its starring role in high-profile films like Bullitt and long-running television shows turned it from a product into a pop culture archetype, making its shape and sound instantly recognizable even to people who have never driven one. Its broad shoulders, hidden headlights, and Coke bottle curves became shorthand for a certain idea of freedom and rebellion that marketers still try to tap today. Microstory. In the decades following its release, surviving 1969 Charger RTs became prized collectibles, with enthusiasts undertaking painstaking restorations to return them to original specification or building high-end restomods that blend classic style with modern powertrains. These efforts keep the car alive not just as an artifact, but as a living platform for expression. Microstory. Dodge itself drew heavily from the 1969 Charger RT when it introduced modern retro-styled Chargers, using cues like the crosshair grille, fastback stance, and performance-focused trims to evoke the past while updating the formula for contemporary buyers. This continuity underscores how a single model year can anchor an entire brand identity. Microstory. Auction results and private sales show that well-preserved examples of the 1969 Charger RT command strong prices, reflecting not only scarcity, but the enduring emotional pull of this particular car over rivals from the same period. Its blend of power, style, and cultural cachet make it more than just another collectible. Context digest. Modern muscle cars often balance huge horsepower with sophisticated electronics and safety features, but the Charger RT's raw, analog nature continues to influence how enthusiasts and automakers talk about authentic performance. It serves as a touchstone for debates about what has been gained and lost in the shift to technology-heavy vehicles. Context digest. Car clubs, online forums, and social media groups dedicated to the 1969 Charger RT thrive worldwide, showing that its appeal transcends geography and generation. These communities swap technical knowledge, share stories, and organize events that keep the spirit of the car alive. Context digest. Even environmental and regulatory pressures have not dimmed the RT's glow. If anything, its status as an unrepeatable product of its time makes it more desirable, a tangible link to an era when constraints were fewer and imagination bolder. Reflection bridge. Through this lens, the 1969 Dodge Charger RT is less about nostalgia and more about continuity, a rolling reminder that performance and personality can outlast changing times. Reflection bridge. Its endurance also raises a question about what kinds of cars today will earn similar reverence 50 years from now. With those insights in mind, we're ready to gather everything we've uncovered and draw out what it all means for enthusiasts and the broader American automotive story. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT began our journey as an object of desire, a low-slung fastback that turned heads on American streets at the height of the muscle car era. And by following its story, we've uncovered how design, engineering, and culture combined to create something larger than a single model year. What emerges is a portrait of a car that was never just about numbers, but about a feeling. The way its hidden headlights and Coke bottle hips suggested speed even at rest. The way its 440 Magnum and optional 426 HEMI engines delivered torque that was visceral, yet civilized enough for daily driving. The way Dodge pitched it as both predator and gentleman, making it accessible to a wider swath of drivers than most high-performance machines of its day. All of this happened against a backdrop of rising regulation, changing tastes, and intense competition, which makes the RT's success even more impressive because it was a moment of pure expression before the market shifted. Over the last 5 decades, the 1969 Dodge Charger RT has morphed from a showroom star into a pop culture icon and a collector's prize. Appearing on screens large and small, inspiring modern reinterpretations, and commanding strong values at auctions, its continued relevance shows how a single, well-executed car can anchor a brand's identity and influence an entire segment long after production stops. For US enthusiasts today, owning or even just encountering a 1969 Charger RT offers a chance to touch a piece of living history. It's a reminder of a time when performance cars were bold, analog, and unfiltered, yet also hints at the responsibilities of preservation, cost of entry, and the reality that many surviving examples require serious investment and care to keep on the road. In that sense, the RT is both dream and discipline, a benchmark that sets expectations for what a muscle car should deliver and a caution about how rare such moments are. As we close, Think of the 1969 Dodge Charger RT not just as the muscle car that defined an era, but as a rolling blueprint for how performance, style, and cultural resonance can fuse into something timeless. An enduring standard that future performance cars will be measured against, whether they roar with gasoline or hum with electricity. No matter what comes next, the silhouette of that '69 Charger RT will remain etched in the American imagination.